and also Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie. Please do bear with us. We've just returned back to the hotel, so we'll be bringing those guys in as soon as they're ready. But we'll begin with head coach Anthony Hudson, and we'll take questions starting with Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Thanks, Michael. Congrats on the win, Anthony. I guess just to start, what were your overall impressions on the performance of the team, and how do you now try to carry over the 7-goal performance into Monday night against El Salvador? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I think firstly, it feels like job done, and then now it's about just making sure that we recover well and we finish this job off. I think a performance and a result like this can be a little bit what's the word? Not misleading, but you don't want to get carried away. The importance for us is just to make sure that we do all the right things between now and the next game, and we finish the job off. But the actual performance, I thought it was the result of just a really, really good week. The players have performed, trained well. The attitude's been good, and the energy's been good, and the focus today I thought was excellent. So I was very pleased for them.
Next will be Kyle Bond.
Coach, congrats on the win. You guys, you called these road matches in CONCACAF play complicated yesterday. Sometimes if you don't come out right out of the gates firing on all cylinders, it can get a bit messy. How important was that early goal in this game for kind of setting that tone and settling everyone down?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, even when they scored their goal, it's like, you can feel the crowd, the atmosphere, and then it just sets in a little bit of doubt because again, a lot of these times, and I've been through this, the same thing with New Zealand. We did the same thing with Bahrain. When you go to some of these places and the conditions are the way they are, and you're the superior team, sometimes these things become like an equalizer in terms of the teams you're playing against. So look, I think the big thing going into this game was about mentality. I think, with the utmost respect to our opposition, we just felt that the defining factor was going to be focus and mentality, and I think that part of it we were pleased with.
Next will be Stephen Goff from the Washington Post.
Thanks a lot for your time. Just wanted you, it seemed like Christian really put his stamp on this match right away, taking on defenders and setting up goals throughout the first half. Wondering if you could just comment on his leadership and his assertiveness in this match.
Yeah, Stephen, if I'm honest, I'm amazed by Christian. I mean, I think I've said this a few times. And without talking about previous experiences, but being involved in international soccer for quite some time, when a cycle's over and you have the start of a new cycle, especially the one we've just had, where you have the high of a World Cup. And then you have games like these at a time of the season where players are fighting for, relegation, Champions League, real tense times in their clubs. It's very, very easy to turn around and look at the fixture, the schedule, and say, look, with all due respect, I think the team can get away without me and win these games. So, and this happens all around the world with all sorts of international teams. And it's, in the part I've had experience with this in the past, so the very fact that, through this last cycle and leading up to this camp and then coming into camp, I just can't speak highly enough of the character of this person, who not only is he a talented player, but is someone that I can assure you, he just absolutely loves playing for his country. He's a great character, loves playing for his country, and is inspiring to the rest of the group. And I think you saw that in his performance tonight. I mean, I can't remember the amount of times he puts his body on the line. You know, for such a big player playing at a big club, a huge value on him. And we go to places like this, and he has no problem just giving absolutely everything he has. So he is an inspiration for the rest of the group for sure.
Next will be Jonathan Tannewell from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Anthony, for the time, and congratulations. I'll ask you what is admittedly a parochial question for me about the center back pairing of Mark McKenzie and Austin Trusty. What you saw from them over the last few days, and what you saw from them tonight playing together for the first time in a while, which they used to do quite a bit. Thanks.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. The thinking wasn't because they've played together in the past that this could be an interesting pairing. We've been following Mark. He's been doing well, and we've been following Austin, and we felt Austin deserved the chance. I'm really pleased for both of them. I'm really pleased Austin has been able to get his chance and doing really well. I think one thing I'm really confident with both of them, and especially having been over in England, and not just myself but BJ, but seeing Austin play, is like, this guy is like, when it comes to winning aerial duels and 1v1 battles and defending space behind the line, and just really his physicality in duels, like, I have absolutely no problem with him. So we're really, really pleased with both of them, and we feel we have some fresh legs to come on and help in the next game as well.
We'll go to Kyle Bonagura from ESPN.
Yeah, Anthony, Gio in the past for the national team is mainly played on the wing. Tonight he was obviously playing centrally and was even dropping fairly deep at times. Can you kind of walk us through kind of what the idea was there, and how you made the decision to kind of change what his role was?
Yeah, I have to admit, in training all week, he's been pretty much outstanding. He's showing his quality. We wanted to put him in a position where we felt it was, his strongest position, where he could be the most successful. We were working towards playing a 4-2-3-1. We wanted the guys to have a little bit more freedom, but with discipline. So if Gio did come down, we saw Weston moving up or Luca moving up. So that was the thinking. We wanted to give him a little bit more freedom. I think when you see Gio receiving the ball in between the midfield and the defensive line facing forward, I mean, he's an incredible, dangerous player. Now, that said, I thought he played really well tonight, but I was concerned because in training he was outstanding. He really was. He's been brilliant every day. And then I just felt, when we got on the field last night, part of me felt, do you know what, this type of field might be tough for Gio, because he likes to turn, he likes to dribble, and I'm thinking, we sort of wanted to set him up to do well, but he did do well. And we were pleased for him, and he's had a really good week, given the fact that he's a young kid and he's been through a lot.
Next will be Sean McCaffrey.
Hi, Coach Sean Suckle, Now Magazine. Should we be reading into anything in the fact that the only player that was a healthy scratch is also the only player from MLS?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Should we be reading into, is there more to the sole MLS representative not even dressing today?
No, honestly, there's nothing to read into other than he's returning from injury, and we're just trying to, we've been speaking to his club, and I think we both agreed with Atlanta and ourselves. We both agreed that it would be best if we just played him one game a week. And so that was the reason. It was simple as that. I mean, I think I spoke to him yesterday and again today. I'm getting old, so I'm losing my memory. I keep having 2 or 3 the same conversations with players, and I'm sorry, I keep apologising to him. But Miles is one of them. So we've had a conversation a couple of times, and he's returning from a tough injury. So we just want to manage his loading. But I can assure you this. We love him as a player. We were devastated with his injury, and I can't imagine what he went through. But he is someone that we really value. But there's nothing.
Next will be Jason Anderson.
Hi, Anthony. Thanks for speaking with us tonight. I wanted to ask a little about Joe Scally's role tonight. Christian obviously was very decisive, but it seemed like the team was heavily left-sided. Was that by design, or was that simply those two kind of finding the game and taking over?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we spoke about it at halftime. We felt in the second half, we felt there was opportunities when Christian cut inside that he could have. It was on because the opposition had shifted across so much that it was on for either Brendan or Brian Reynolds to either switch the play to them or even get Brian in behind the back line. So I think we talked about that at halftime, and I think we got Brian more involved in the second half. I think one of the things we saw a phase late in the second half where we were sorry, I apologize, in the first half, right before halftime, and he got it and he played a little combination play, got up the line, and then I think he ended up putting across him. But that's the type of thing we've been seeing him do for his club every week, and been doing it really, really well. So we were pleased about that. So it was, look, we were playing against a team that were like mid to low block. And when Christian had the ball, we had a lot of players around him. Gio would come over, trying to create a bit of an advantage. And there was a lot of space on the right-hand side. So second half, I felt we got Brian involved a lot more in the game.
Last question for Anthony comes from Andrew Jones.
Thank you, Michael. Anthony, just want to ask you your assessment on the performances of Ricardo Pepi, showing the maturity that he has from the disappointment of missing the World Cup and scoring his goals tonight in his activity. And Luca de la Torre, once again, being so active and tidy in the midfield.
Thanks, Andrew. Andrew, is that a new picture again?
It's the same one. It's the same.
Or you're in a different room?
No, it's just
okay. I like it. It's nice. So you're talking about Pepe and Luca. I mean, look, I'm pleased. Look, when we go over to Europe and visit these players, I think you notice straight away that it's tough for these young guys. There's a lot of pressure on them. That some of them are on their own. They don't have family come and visit every now and then. Integrating into a new culture and language, all of these different things. And I don't think we, or even as a staff, it's important to go over there and really see it and appreciate that it's tough, and I think Ricardo's had a tough start over there. And one thing we've seen from Ricardo is that he is like constantly working for his team in Holland, constantly leading the line, constantly running behind the line. The amount of, for a player who doesn't always get the service and, he's just always running behind the line and working and pressing, and he's got an incredible attitude. He's a great guy. He's a really great guy to have around. So I'm just pleased that he's come in, and I'm pleased that he's done well. And look, this guy's going to be around for a while. So we're really pleased about him. And again, Luca was in a slightly different position today. because we wanted to play with two centre midfielders. We felt Luka was someone that could help us maybe have a little bit more positional discipline in there, but also someone that could receive in tight areas and turn and break lines and play forward and find Gio and find Christian. That was the point of having Luka in there, and I thought he had a really good game. And I thought he was brave on the ball. I thought he received the ball in some really good areas. We talked about him popping out, into wide areas and creating a little rotation. I thought he did that at the right times. So we were really pleased with Luka.
Thank you, Anthony. We will be right back with Christian and Wes. If you'd like to get in a queue to ask a question, you can do so now. Stand by. Time in his career that he's had 3 goal contributions in a single match. Also joined by midfielder Weston McKennie. Weston has played in all 9 of the CONCACAF Nations League matches for the United States. His 5th and 6th goals tonight in CONCACAF Nations League play puts him first on the U.S. list with 6 goals ahead of Jordan Morris. We'll begin with questions and start with Henry Bushnell from Yahoo.
Thanks, Michael, and hey, Wes and Christian. Since I've got both of you, I got to ask, would either of you be willing to explain the choreographing of that celebration, and if there was any significance behind it?
Yeah, that's to be completely honest, we talked about it, but we're not there yet, ready to share what it means. It's just an inside thing between us. So maybe if it happens more often, then we'll come out and say why.
Fair enough. And if I could just ask another question then, how much fun was tonight? It seemed like you guys are having fun out there. Was it fun?
Yeah, definitely a good time. Obviously, we love scoring goals, and that's what we do. So obviously, good score line, positive result for the team. So we definitely enjoyed ourselves out there.
We'll go to Ryan Talmadge from Goal.com.
Thanks, Michael. Weston, this one's for you, just because I feel like it'll be easier to get you to hype Christian up than it'll be for Christian to hype himself up here. When you're watching the stuff he's kind of doing like in the first half and kind of just taking guys on and really controlling the game as a teammate, what are your kind of like reactions to that? And how do you kind of make sure to kind of keep a guy like that in that zone and keep him creating the way he was in that first half? Yeah, Christian wants to hear it, so figure I'll give it to him.
I mean, to be completely honest, it's what I expect of him, and for him to be able to do it consistently and be back and be in that zone, it always helps the team out in the best way, because he's one of the players on our team that can create things and can make things happen. So just to see him having fun and just playing his game and with the confidence that he has, it's amazing. So hopefully we can look forward to many more like that.
We'll go to Sanjay Sujan Thakumar.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, guys, for doing this. This question's for Wes. Wes, so Anthony alluded to this when he was talking about where Luka played tonight. What was it like to play next to another holding midfielder? And also, what's it been like to play with Tyler in a double pivot at Leeds? And is that something that you guys have talked about translating to the national team? Have you talked to Anthony about that as well? Thanks.
Not gonna lie, that question was all over the place, but I'm gonna try my best. No, so the first question was about playing with Luka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's nice. I mean, we have a lot of midfielders like Luka, Eunice, Johnny, Tyler, all types of midfielders that can fill in and step in the role easily. And it was comfortable. I mean, we have a good understanding. I've known Luka for just as many years as I've known Christian. So I mean, it was natural. It felt good. And as far as Tyler, devastating what happened, obviously, but playing with him at Leeds and then talking about playing together, it's something that doesn't happen often, but it was looking forward to it. Obviously, we'll have to see what happens moving forward, but yeah, hopefully he recovers quick and can get back with us soon.
Next is Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Thanks, Michael. This one's for Christian. Obviously, the expectations going into this game were for you guys to get a win. How crucial was it, though, to kind of get that early goal and to end up putting in a performance like you did today to make it decisive and to start off not just this window with a win like this, but the next cycle going forward to have this strong of an outing in the first game? Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. It gives us a lot of confidence. We knew that they weren't just going to lay down and let us beat them, and that's why the early goal was important. We came out really strong with a lot of energy and just kind of put it to them right away. So I think they were kind of surprised by that, and yeah, it took our goals well, and just a great all around performance. Definitely gives us confidence, and now we want to go and we want to win this next one against El Salvador, and yeah, that's all.
We'll go to Kyle Vaughn from the Sporting News.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. Congrats on the win. Christian, you talked yesterday that you're always presented with new challenges in these road games. The 7 goals tonight, the most that the U.S. has ever scored away from home, ever. For you, where does that performance rank in your international career? And what was it about tonight's game that you just decided, this one's mine. I'm going to take this one on?
I mean, I didn't decide it was mine. It's my job to help create and score goals and assists for the team.
That's right. That's right.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was an important game for sure. I don't rank it as like one of our best performances ever. I think we put in a solid performance, got the job done, and yeah.
Go to Jonathan Chanawal from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Thank you, Michael, and congratulations, guys, on the win. I want to ask about a couple of the guys who played behind you on the back line tonight, and Austin Trusty and Mark McKenzie. What you thought of their performances? I know that they're guys you've known for a while, but this was Austin's first senior national team cap, and what that meant to you guys as well. Thank you.
As far as Mark McKenzie, I think he stepped in and did what he needed to do. Same with Austin Trusty. Obviously, it's always a big deal coming in and getting your first cap. And as you saw, I mean, we let up 1 goal, but at the end of the day, we came here to get 3 points, and I think they contributed really well, and kept the back line nice and tight and winning the first duels and not making it easy for them to just play over the top. So I think for both of them, hats off, and yeah, good job.
We will take one more question and go to Andrew Jones.
Thanks, Michael. Just for both of you, just your thoughts on Brian Reynolds coming in the lineup and how he did tonight towards that, as well as just after many instances of fields that you have to deal with in CONCACAF. I was dealing with the field tonight down in Grenada.
Yeah, I thought Brian was good. Was really good tonight. Yeah, I haven't got to play with him too much in the national team, but I'm impressed. I think he has a really good, just good physicality, and yeah, he looked good. Running up and down the line today, defended well. and very athletic, and yeah, had a good performance. Yeah, these games are always challenging. It was a really nice scene though tonight in Grenada for sure. I thought like field not bad. The stadium was beautiful, nice, cool little atmosphere. So I think we definitely enjoyed ourselves here.
Appreciate everyone staying with us late tonight. We are off tomorrow as you travel back to the US. We'll see you again on Sunday. Thanks again and have a good evening.